I'm getting tortured with telepathy by the psychopath that is running shit who tells you guys what to do, who has designed my punishment where people are instructed to do the same shit twice. And what people don't know is that this person has hacked the tech of my body an eternity ago and was pulling back my consciousness slightly to the point where I was in a fog where I was not fully experiencing things. It steals your free will, and that in combination with being forced, all these people being forced to brainwash me, had turned me into a zombie, where effectively I had at some point just been reliving the same life, having the same conversations with people over and over again for an eternity. And because he got that to happen, he did something so horrifying I can't even comprehend. Now, he said that you guys live in a world of abundance where you have everything you could ever want, and he wanted to take everything he could from someone. So, what he had done is pulled my consciousness all the way back, where it was like a roofie, where I wasn't experiencing anything at all, but I was capable of doing anything that I would normally be able to do. And because I was already being brainwashed and doing the same shit for eternity, that no one would have been able to tell the difference to whether I was conscious or not. And that at some point, I was getting set up and charged with despicable crimes for which I would have been repeatedly arrested because I didn't know what was happening. And these are charges you would never, these are things you never get charged with a second time. And that he was having people torture me while in prison for his entertainment while he was connected to me with telepathy. And that's why I was allowed to live so far into the future that now I'm being murdered by the fact that I've been hacked, and that no one will believe anything that I'm saying because no one has been hacked in eternity. And I don't know what to say. People like me go unconscious when we're not here, so I would have had no idea what was supposed to be happening. I thought people like me got like 10 years out and that someone else was allowed to get let out. And this is real because I actually spent my whole life just like looking around at these people like they're fucking weirdos. Like, I thought that people didn't age. I thought that people were like selecting the age that they were so that they could help to simulate this time period. Like, I literally didn't know people aged because I was not conscious for long enough to witness myself aging. I guess I aged pretty well. And I mean, it might have been closer to like 8 years. I'm not sure. But that's why people have been having the same conversations with me, and I had no possibility of breaking out. Um, Now, this is not like a delusion or a voice in my head. I'm getting tortured with telepathy by this person who's also brainwashing me on top of what he's making other people do. So with telepathy, you it's not like a voice in your head. So like you can vocalize the things you're thinking, and that will get shared, and you can have a conversation back and forth. But you can also think things in the back of your mind, and it will get transferred. If I visualize an image, he'll get the image. If I know how to fix something, he knows how to fix something because we're just sharing consciousness. It's not a voice in my head. Now, I know everything about this individual as a result of him fucking with me with telepathy for several months. Um, so he is a white male in his 40s. He sounds straight, but he's definitely not. He has no wife or children living with him, and he's the sole person running things. It's not like a woman or like a small group of managers who are taking shifts. It's just one guy, and he's had the same job for an eternity. So for however long I've been reliving the same life is how long he's been working there for. And he is just disgusting. So people who are psychopaths get off on human suffering. And because you guys live in a world where everyone is on drugs and comfortable, he like is surrounded by people he doesn't like. And um, he said that he wanted to get to someone and fuck them over, which he's openly designing torture for someone. Now, what people don't know is that because the jobs that I work at, people are forced to do the same things twice. These places were designed to be torture centers, and because no one wants to do the same shit twice for 40 hours a week. And that there is a person named Kaylee McPherson, as well as her uncle, who worked at the Argo Contact Center, who were fucking with me while I was unconscious. And I was given a brief flash of consciousness while they were doing this, and I didn't know what was happening at the time. But these people both know that I got hacked, they know my killer, and they know that my consciousness was being fucked with. And I don't know what to say because they're not going to say anything, but they need to be interrogated once I'm dead. Now, I also have physical evidence. So the way that the murder is working is that he has found a way to fuck with the muscles in my body. So he has blocked my intestines from clearing to make this look like a medical problem. And I have all my pain and nausea blocked. My ability to feel emotions is shut down. So I had gotten a bright red sunburn at Planet Fitness in the tanning bed, and then I went and sat in the massage chair the next day. And the people that worked there witnessed that I had these like rubber balls like hammering against bright red burns. And I went up there and showed them at the front desk, and they saw me sitting in the massage chair, and they saw my burns, and they were shocked. And I have taken a drug test that shows I'm not on pain medication. So there's no physical explanation to how that occurred if what I'm saying is not true. Now, I also am getting massively sleep deprived because I know that your intellect can be cranked up to the point where you're an intellectual, and it can also be reduced to the point where you cannot recall information. So what this dickhead is doing is he's only allowing me to sleep 3 to 4 hours a night. So I always have bags under my eyes. So if I get in front of the cops, he dulls my thinking down to nothing, so I can't recall information. I'm free of pain and nausea, and my ability to think is dulled, and my ability to feel emotions is completely removed, to the point where I've almost been run over by a car and I just completely neutral. I get tortured by this person daily and I'm fully neutral. It's like nothing's happening. So I don't know what to say. I have physical evidence. Now I have my Fitbit that I was wearing that shows that I was cut down to 3 hours of sleep. He ended up hacking that because he has hacked my phone already. So the way that I have gotten physical evidence is I've taken a picture of my face completely destroyed at 4 a.m. I'm not yawning. I'm not fatigued. I'm not slumped over. So if you have sleep deprivation, you can't even hold your head up, and you can't stop yawning for anything. And you have no mental clarity. You can barely keep your head up. And my face looks fully destroyed in these videos, and no signs that I'm undergoing sleep deprivation. And the fact that I'm doing the same shit twice without even being able to recall the fact that I did it already, in combination with the fact that I'm describing with you with clarity technology that I would have not experienced myself for tens of thousands of years, demonstrates that this is really actually happening. I worked at a fucking job that I apparently had already worked at. Now, he was dulling my ability to think and pulling back my consciousness, so I was like in a fog. I wasn't really fully experiencing things. And I just had to get retrained for the same fucking job. So the fact that I'm describing this tech with clarity, it's happening. It's not a delusion. It's not possible for someone who was doing the same shit twice with no recollection of having done it before could remember something that they would have been 50,000 years removed from experiencing. Now, I said my intestines were blocked. Now, I've been living on a liquid diet for several months, and I get food stamps, and I have like $700 in food stamps, which shows that I'm not eating food. And people around me had seen that my stomach had gotten huge. I just kept eating until I got filled up. And that now that we're getting closer to the end here where the stuff is putrid, he's letting it come out of me like once a day to make it look like I actually have a normal digestion. But either way, 700 in food stamps, massive numbers of bowel movements that I've had to take pictures of to document that it's actually happening in combination with the food stamps. So I have what I could gather as physical evidence. Now, the way this is all gonna, so I have my pain and nausea blocked, and he has the diagnostics at the computers at the hospital have been hacked out of necessity. So if he did not do that, then they would have already saved me by now. So how this works is when they put your blood work into an analyzer, it is just shared with all the computers in the hospital. No one's involved. So he has hacked the computers in the hospital, which are pretty primitive compared to what you guys are used to. And he's putting in my earlier benign blood work from when I wasn't sick for my current blood work, now that I'm really getting poisoned. Now, I have worked in a medical laboratory briefly in an entry level position, and I have figured out how to make my own blood work. So I have manually done my own blood work. Here, this is a laboratory slide, and it shows that my white blood cell count is massive. And I go to the hospital with my face looking like this, bags under my eyes, not eating food, getting tortured. Whether you think it's a delusion or not, it's fucking torture. And they're saying that my white blood cell count, which indicates whether you're healthy or not, is fine, which is impossible. And the only people who will test this blood slide are people who are veterinarians. They know how to read manual blood work, and people who are deep inside of hospital laboratories who are not talking to me. Because this all sounds like a delusion. And I don't know what to say, because if you get tortured and your ability to feel emotions is shut down, and this has likely been happening for an eternity where this person was fucking with me with telepathy, you get to keep your sanity. And I have to tell other people things that a fucking psychopath has done to me, and everyone is comfortable and will presume that what I'm saying is just a result of like a mental health issue. And I hate mentally ill people, because I got tortured forever because one of them had risen to a position of power to get to me. And the reason why I will die without getting help is because mentally ill people exist, and I'm being pegged as one of them. So I'm getting fucking tortured with telepathy for several months at the tail end of an eternity of being unconscious and being fucking tortured for this sick freaks entertainment. And everyone else around me is just walking around in a fog, like comfortable as fuck. They don't care about anything I'm saying.